Okay, guys, welcome to another section, or we can say another chapter of our course. It is very important. I need your attention as well. So it's not ordinary attention. I need your extraordinary attention in these lectures because these are very important. You may encounter this question during of interview, and you may encounter this kind of question during of if you're preparing yourself for exam as well. And these things is very important when you are with your colleagues and talking about wireless technology. They say about something, and if you're not familiar with, and they will notice that you doesn't know, or you will enjoy if you know these things. Very important. But topology is one of the most basic, or we can say the most basic stuff which you really need to know. Okay, let's talk about what is topology and what is wireless topology. Network topology describes the method in which all the elements of the network are mapped. The topology terms refers to both the physical and logical layout of network. So the physical and the logical layout of network is called topology. Remember that, because when you work as a wireless engineer, if you work as a wireless network engineer, as a wireless network admin, and so on, sometimes the CEO, or we can say your IT project manager or the project manager, will ask you like, hey, do you mind to send me the topology of the wireless that you have? Even though if you work as a network engineer, as a network architect, so you probably need to know which kind of topology you implement inside your office, the company that you're working, and so on. Even at home, you are using a certain types of topology that we're going to discuss in this lecture. Wireless topology. Now let's talk about the wireless topology. So now we found that the physical and the logical structure of the way that we design our wireless devices in any places, it's called a topology. But there is some standard topology that we have to follow. So in general, in the wireless technology, let's see how many topology we have. Wireless topology. So wireless topology, the 802.11 standard identifies two main wireless topology modes. How many wireless topology mode? So IEEE standard is very profound standard. You may encounter diversity of topology for the wireless technology, but these are the standard. I mean, these are the standard. No one can change it. People come with the random ideas. People come with different topology, but that is their personal best. That's their personal best. That's good for them. But in general, if we talk about the standard, these two are the most important, and of course the standard, because it has been uh, reserved in IEEE Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Defines two mode: infrastructure mode and independent basic service set, or we can say IBSS. IBSS is also known as ad hoc mode. It is ad hoc mode. So don't get confused. We're going to discuss about these two topologies with more details, but just keep this in your mind. Well, so we say that IBSS is also known as ad hoc mode as well. How many modes we have? Overall, we have two types of mode. We have an infrastructure mode, and we have an independent basic service set mode. Just keep this in your mind, and let's see. Um, okay, this is the infrastructure mode, guys. I need your attention in here. It's very important in here. With infrastructure mode, wireless clients interconnect via an access point. Remember that, interconnect via an access point. Note that the configuration of the access point, APS is a stand for access point, to the share the access point to share the same SSID allows wireless client to roam between BSA. We're going to discuss about what is BSA, what is SSID, and so on in the next page, not next chapter. But if you look at the diagram in here, when you see in the diagram, they say what I said, they are using the same SSID. It's just roaming. For example, if in here, if you look at in here, we said my network. In the access point A, access point 1, see there's a AP1 and there's a AP2. And your left side, AP1, and your right side, AP2. So and here, if you look at the AP1 SSID, my network. So this is the same SSID. Let me explain what is SSID. So if you go to your phone and search for Wi-Fi, So if you search for Wi-Fi, these names called SSID. We're gonna discuss about these things. But in here in our diagram, it mentioned that uh, the reason which we're using infrastructure mode is it does require the one Ethernet cable. See, it connect to it connect to the distribution services. Mean it's a VLAN 10. Forget about VLAN 10. Just this is a switch on the top. That is a switch, and at the bottom you will see there's a two access point. So the main purpose of the infrastructure mode is that they're using the same SSID. It's roaming. For example, I use two access point with the same SSID with the same password. If you're using the internet in here and you want to go to the second floor or third floor, you may see the same SSID with the same password, but the access point is different. For example, I have a 4 and 5 of these access points, so I'm set up in every places in order to roaming between one another. This is the main purpose of roaming. All right, in here, infrastructure mode terminology, including the following. So remember that these are very important. Infrastructure mode terminology, including the following. We have a BSS, which stands for Basic Service Set. This consists of a single access point interconnecting all associated wireless client. So it's a one single access point. We will go with more details through the topology. You will see what does it mean in here. And we have a BSA. BSA is a stand for Basic Service Area. So basic BSA is a stand for Basic Service Area. In here, if you look at in here, BSS, Basic Service Area. BSA, let me see, BSA should be the gray area. Let's go to the definition. We will find out what does it mean. So what is BSA? This is the area that is bounded by the reach of the access point signal, and BSA is called as a gray area. Okay, so the gray area in here in our topology, this is called the BSA area. So AP1, if you look at the gray area, this is BSA1, and we can say this is a BSA2. All right. So what we have BSS ID, Basic Service Set Identifier. This is a unique this is a unique number, so it's unique identifier number. So with the help of BSSID, we can specify, for example, this this access point does come with a specific MAC address. It should be there should be a specific MAC address. Through the serial number you can find the MAC address, but we will log into this device and we discuss about what is the MAC address. But yeah, this is in order to specify which access point is belong to which floor. So it's a bit challenge, because if you have the same access point, you may find through the IP, but in order to find it very unique ways, you can find through the MAC address, and that's called the Basic Service Set Identifier. What is SSID? As I mentioned in here, once you want to access the Wi-Fi, uh, these all names, whatever your Wi-Fi names are, this is called SSID. This is called SSID. What does SSID stand for? This is a human readable non-unique identifier used by the access point to advertise it as wireless services. That is something to just keep in your mind. So what is DS? DS is a stand for distribution system. An access point connect to the network infrastructure using wire. Using wire. So what does it mean? So we have we have a, DS. If you look at in here, it's DS. So we are talking about the topology, guys. You would say that, hey, this is not access point and this is switch. That makes sense. But in the terms of topology, this is called the DS, distribution system. Mean from the switch, from the switch, from the switch, my access point is connect. This is the switch cable. It is connect to my access point. So now this is called the distribution system. So as a matter of fact, um, all right, that was a DS. So now what we have extended service set, ESS. When the signal BSS provide insufficient coverage, two or more BSS can be joined through the command DS into the ESS. So it's the same as you look at in here. We have a two BSS. So it's, if you look at access point 1 and if you see access point 1, which is in the right side, and access point 2, which is in the left side. This is the combination of both. These are what we called infrastructure mode terminology. I need you guys attention. Let's move on, see what else is here, because it is very important. Ad hoc wireless network diagram. So I need your attention in here. See how we design our network. This is if all devices are connected one another. For example, my laptop is connected to the wireless, and meanwhile my phone is connected to the wireless. And now if I look at my wireless access point, for example, the one which is connect to my computer and my phone, that's count one Ethernet cable. This Ethernet cable is providing internet to my access point. This is called ad hoc wireless network topology. In our topology, if you look at in here, we can say broadband modem, that is a modem, but Ethernet, or we can see using USB cable and so on, but it's connected to my computer, and after that, that computer is kind of hotspot providing internet to the entire network device which is looking for Wi-Fi. This is the diagram. Remember that. All right, so let's see what we have. One thing, one of the another very profound in here, I need you guys attention as well. We have a WLAN and we have a WW, we can say W1. So what does WLAN stand for? WLAN stand for wireless local area network. If you look at in here in the left side, if we think that this device is only in one building, that we can call wireless local area network. For example, guys, if you have this access point at home, if you have this access point at home, and that's it, this is called a wireless local area network. So this wireless device will provide internet to the local area network. This is called a wireless local area network. Now, we are a witness of wireless controller. Remember that. We are a witness of wireless what? We are a witness of wireless controller. So now we have two types of wireless controller. We have an on-premises wireless controller, and we will discuss about these things. Even we go beyond that, we will configure, we will set up these things. But now we have a wireless controller. I said on-premises, local area network. We can say wireless controller, and we have cloud-based. What? Cloud-based wireless controller. Let's see in here Cisco, I can say 7600 series is a cloud base as well. So in here, if you pick both, for example, right and left, let's say that the right side is in the New York and left side is in the California. That is called a wireless wide area network. Mean the controller is on the cloud. So when I log into the cloud and I want to see what is going on, and I want to add, remove, and so on, in order to configure, that is called a wireless wide area networks. It's very simple. Just keep it in your mind. It's very important to know these words and know the terminology and know the way how it looks in the terms of topology. All right, so now what we have in here, we have IBSS or ad hoc mode. So this is the mode that we discuss about. We have ad hoc mode and we have infrastructure mode. So this is the ad hoc mode. In the 802.11 standard, independent basic services (IBSS) is defined as a two device connected wirelessly and peer-to-peer (P2P). Guys, if you notice that we have a P2P, P2P stand for peer-to-peer, one with one another. Okay, so if I have two, let's see if I have two. If I uh, if I open hotspot and this one in my phone and access the internet and access internet from this phone, this is called the IBSS. So these two devices communicating with one another, it is a point to point. I mean, no one is using. If I turn on the hotspot, so that's the way I can say. But mostly, I am a witness of if you have an external wireless modem. Remember that. So we have an internal wireless modem which is attached to our laptop, whether you're using tower desktop, that is called an internal wireless modem, which is attached to your device. But now we have external wireless modem. It come like a pen drive. I do have one of them. So this is called the external wireless modem. If you connect this one external wireless modem, and meanwhile, if you create a bridge and turn on a Wi-Fi to the entire network, because it's external, you can make this as a wireless access point. So that is also called a BSS. Two devices communicating with one another, and this is the topology. Okay, and the last we have a mesh topology. Mesh topology, if you look at in here, So if you look at in here, having a wire DS is distribution system. Mean again, we have the same analogy, but the entire access point in our topology, if you look at in here, access point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they are not connected to wire. They are not connected to wire. They are connected to wireless. So which kind of technology we're using? We're gonna discuss about these things once we start configuring wireless access point. So either we can use a transparent mode or we can use a bridge mode. So means only one of my access point does come with the internet and the rest will connect to this wireless access point in order to provide a high frequency or high level of signal to the clients which is looking for the internet. All right, guys, I think we have discussed too much about this lecture, and the next lecture we're going to discuss about OSI model. Guys, I need your attention. That is also very important. I hope the information was very helpful. Take a breath. If you think it was too much, what is my suggestion? Just pause the video, re-review the video, and make sure that you got enough information that what I have shared. These are most important. These are the most recent information I'm telling you. As a matter of fact, I am a technical person. I have mentioned everything. This is what we have in a enterprise and biggest corporate companies. I do have a friend of mine. We are discussing about these things every day. How to like set up a mesh topology, how to what let's see if we can make infrastructure topology in the next project and so on. And these are the daily things that you have to keep in your mind. It doesn't matter which year you are, but these things will never change. Remember that the history of wireless access point, especially if you like to learn more about the IEEE standards, especially 802.11, you will see a lot of things. And if you go by history, it's from very long time ago. It's not getting changed. All right, so let's move on to the next lecture. See you guys.